This Baseplan Presents video features how to combine your rental and service billing together, focusing on the following areas: creating an external service job, linking a rental contract to a service job, viewing the service detail lines on a rental contract, generating a single invoice with both rental and service items, the basics on the configuration.
Okay, so I'm currently logged into Baseplan Enterprise, and I saw a few weeks ago there was someone that was asking a question around how you could combine your service and your rental billing together. And that functionality is possible in Baseplan. So I wanted to sort of walk through how it can be done and what some of the configuration items that need to be set up are as well. So I've just got a rental contract here that I've got already created for Valaris Construction, and we can see here the status is current. It's currently out on rent, and then the detail line has currently been delivered as well. So we've got an excavator that's out on rent, I've just created today. Now we've got the rental rates that are associated with that. So when we do our billing, it'll pick up the relevant rental rates and bill them on the invoices and post to the general ledger. Now, when we look at the service side, we can also generate external service jobs, which also create invoices. Now, what we want to do is we want to bill that on one rental contract, so the customer doesn't get two separate invoices. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a service job for this particular equipment code, and then we'll walk through how it can be done. So if I want to create an equipment management and service job, I can create a new service job, and we want it to be external, because remember that's going to be to generate an invoice at the end of the work. And let's just get our number. So cat 33661. So cat 33661. Oops. I can type right. There we go. And you can see here it pulls through the relevant customers' details automatically. So the Valaris Construction has come through with Parkway Extension with Gary V as the contact. Now we can put the description on here, so we can say repair work, or maybe it's damage or whatever it might be, or site inspection, or whatever it is that we're doing, that the customer will require an invoice at the end of it. We can then set up the reason codes, and I'll talk a little bit about these reason codes as well, because you can configure a few different areas to pull through what's going to be billed on the rental contract as well. So we can just say it's going to be a repair that updates the SA code, which gives us our configuration, and then we can choose our category of work. So we can say it's going to be mechanical. And then we can also allocate it out. So I can say Alex Rocks is going to be working on it, and he needs to be a mechanic level 1, for instance. Now you can see here that before I hit save, there's this flag that says charge to rental. Now if I tick this, it would pull through the relevant rental contract that this is currently on, and so we can actually combine that billing. Now if I hit save, we can say yes, and I try and edit it now, you can see how it's blacked out. Like I can't change it. So the way that we can, let's say that we decided that we wanted to combine this billing together at a later stage when maybe the person that created the job wasn't aware of it, I can go up to actions and go change key parameters. And if we drag this over, you can see here I've got the charge to rental that's open. So I can tick this, and it's going to give me a list of rental contracts that we can actually bill this to. So I can say 106,411, which is the right rental contract. And when I hit save and we go back, you can see here it's now ticked, and it's linked it to that rental contract as well to be billed. Now, when we start adding in some labor and parts on here, we'll see how this actually flows through. So if I just choose Alex, so 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and I'll just use any job code, labor, and let's just post this timesheet. So this is going to go to my actuals on my job. So we can see here I've just put it in a timesheet for that particular labor, and then I can also maybe consume a part as well. And so let's just go find something that's available. Go. So we want a water hose adapter. And so we can then post this part as well. So I'm just building up the cost that we were going to either invoice at the end of it or wear that cost internally. So in this instance, it's an external service job, so we're expecting an invoice to be generated when we close off this job. So what I can do now is, let's say that we've done all the work that we needed to do, it's been linked correctly, and I can complete the technician to say he's finished his work. And really what happens now is if I click on post, that would normally go through a process of actually closing out the job, moving it to the relevant GL accounts, the costs, and then posting that revenue to the general ledger as well, and generating an invoice as part of that. Now, what's going to happen is if I hit post, it goes through the same process, but you can see the difference here is that it hasn't generated an invoice. So it's closed it out. So it's going to post to the general ledger in the account that we set up, that we're going to hold that work in progress. And so then what that's going to do is, if I go over to my rental contract now and just go refresh, you can see here it's pulled through those service charges automatically from the job. So then now we can actually bill this all part of one rental contract. So the customer's not getting two invoices now. It's all going to be under one single rental contract. And let's say, as you can see here, it pulls through the description of what's been done. But if I wanted to, I can double click on this and I could edit this, and I can rename this to whatever I want it to be, more details around the work that we've completed as such. And then if we just generate our normal billing here, so let's just go into a progress invoice. Let's just bill 1 day. You'll see here this is going to actually combine the billing together because it's all on a single rental contract. So let's just zoom in. Whoa, that's too big. Oh my goodness, 150. You can see here it's given us our pre-bill for the rental and then for the service charges as well. And so if we just went back here and hit confirm, this will create the invoice, and I can post and view it as needed, and it'll generate an invoice with all those lines on there. So then if I went preview, we can see here it's pulled through all those service charges and the rental on a single invoice, and would post to the relevant GL accounts automatically as well. Now, there's a few things that need to be set up to make this work. So the first thing is here, you can see this equipment code, you got this service charge. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to create a non-sales item in the system. So if we just go to my inventory master, service charge set up. So you're going to have to set up an item code, non-stock item, which is not a non-sales item. So it can't be something that you're going to be selling. And I normally just tick this as do not carry as well, so people can't order it and stuff like that. And what's going to happen is there's going to be a parameter in the system. So if we just go to system parameters, we can type in here item, I think it's item to use, I think it's called. And you can see here, there's a parameter that's been set up, and we can actually put in here the item coming from that inventory or the stock that will be linked between the service module and the rental module, and it'll be put on as a sales item or a non-sales item on the actual rental contract itself. Now, that's going to be like a generic one for everything, but we can also set up these reason codes for different locations. So if I went to reason branch SA codes, and we just choose anything here, you can see here we can also put it on the specific for external only. So let's just go to an external job type. If I edited this, I can also choose service charge as well that we might want to put in here, so we can actually pull through that information as well. So there's a few ways that it can be configured, but usually what I've seen the easiest way is obviously just to link it on the main parameter, and it will copy that information across, and then you can rename it as you want on the rental contract itself. So look, hopefully that gives you a few ideas on how you can actually maybe streamline some of your invoicing and not be sending two separate invoices out and maybe confusing the customer, and having that all under one single rental contract. And as I said, when we post those transactions, the system's going to automatically know what accounts they need to go to, and it will make all the adjustments automatically behind the scenes. But if you have any questions, like normal, please leave a comment section below. If you have any ideas, please reach out as well. And I hope to see everyone in next week's Baseplan Presents session.